Once upon a time, or I suppose if you were a burglar telling this story, you would say, once upon a crime. Anyway, let's not get diverted right at the beginning. So, once upon a time there was, as there usually are in these sorts of stories, an old man sitting on a rock, staring out across a wide green valley to distant hills beyond. The hills are always distant because it gives a sense of space right at the beginning, which means you can breathe properly, which you have to do when you're telling a story. Anyway, by his side was a very young boy, waiting expectantly, for the young boy had just asked the old man to tell him a story. What would you like a story about? The old man asked. The young boy had not hesitated. He knew exactly what he wanted a story about. Not dragons or spaceships or knights or cowboys, not any of these. He wanted the story of everything. Good gracious, the old man had said, how much time have you got? It's all right, said the young boy. I don't have to be home early. I've got all the time in the world. The old man had nodded understandingly. For once he too had had all the time in the world. But now he had rather less of it. In fact, about 100 years less. Because that was exactly how old the old man was. The old man settled back on his rock, tipped his hat over his eyes to keep out the sun, and turning to the young boy said, imagine a time before there was anything at all. And we'll call this time before there was anything at all the days before there were any days. Before there was you, before there was me, before there was anything for us to see, before there were trees, before there were flowers, before there was rain, before there were showers, before there were rocks, before there were plants, before there were frocks or uncles and aunts, before there were seas, before there was earth, before there was anything that came to birth, before there were stars, before there was sky, before there were mountains towering high. This time, before even there was any time, if you can imagine that, which I'm sure you can if you try very hard. Anyway, before there was anything at all. In fact, I suppose you could say when there was actually nothing, no thing. Well, at this time which we call the days before there were days, there was in fact one thing that did exist. And this one thing you couldn't be seen because it was invisible. And you couldn't touch it because it was everywhere and nowhere. It didn't have a beginning or an end, so you couldn't feel it, and you couldn't hear it because, well, there weren't any ears at the time, even elephants' ears, which are very good at hearing the smallest sound. But even if there had been, there wasn't anything to hear, because there wasn't any sound. Sound hadn't been invented yet. So, this one and only thing that was there before anything else at all ever existed was, in fact, an idea. Like a thought in your head. Except this idea was the idea of everything that would ever be at any time, anywhere at all, in all of the worlds and galaxies for all time and all space. Can you imagine that? It was the idea of everything. Stars, suns, planets, rocks, bikes, sweets, flowers, socks, trees, oceans, sharks, whales, books, shirts, baths, snails, rabbits, pillows, pyjamas, ties, carrots, beans and old meat pies. Anything that you could think of, it was there in just one blink of your eye, your ears, your chin, your nose, your arms, your fingers and your toes. Everything that there would be was only waiting to be free. Yes, everything that you can think of first exists as an idea, except of course pink elephantes, which only live on beans and beer, and all the things you can imagine. Some things, well, they just can't be except in worlds within our heads, which only we alone can see. Like giraffes on roller skaters who really, really long to fly, but because they have no wings on, just keep falling from the sky, laughing as they squash beneath them, all the people strolling by. Yes, everything that you can think of started out as an idea. But before it came into this world, it joined us all right down here. So I want to make it clear that first was the idea, before anything at all, after which came the thing, say, a diamond in a ring, And everything that came just had a ball.
I'm a diamond.
I'm a ring. And I'm a ball.
So, back to our story. If you remember, nothing at all existed yet, except the idea of everything. And the idea of everything had within it all the ideas of whatever would be at any time and any place, for all time and all place. And the idea of everything was like a great big, mysterious, magical cloud. This cloud was the first thing that existed, and everything that would ever be would come from it. If you had existed, which you didn't at the time, but suppose you did, all you would see would be darkness everywhere, like being in a fridge with the light off. In the fridge with no light, it's the darkest part of night. I don't exist, yet I can't be. The question then is, who is me? If I'm not here then where am I? That's the thing I want to know. Will I find out where I've come from? Will I find out where I'll go? So who is me and who is you? Who is us and where are we in the time before we're born now? Can you tell me when we'll be? So, no day, no summer, no winter, no night, no up, no down, no sound, no light. But then, guess what happened? All the things that could ever be, if they existed, which they didn't yet, except, of course, as ideas, which we have already discussed, all these things wanted to exist. And they wanted, and they wanted, and they wanted so much, so very, very, very much, just as you did before you were born. Wanted and wanted and wanted to be. The alarm clock wanted to be an alarm clock. The rock wanted to be a rock. The rabbit wanted to be a rabbit. The tractor wanted to be a tractor. Not a train or a ship or a plane or a pip or anything else like a jar on a shelf. Just wanted to be a tractor. You wanted to be you. Everything wanted to be what it was. Wanted to exist. Wanted to come into the world with bright sunshine and green grass and blue seas and skies and Wellingtons and flowers and rainbows and even Big Macs and Smarties and ice cream and puppies and cats. So much so that it was like a pressure inside the cloud. Like a sort of tickling in your tongue building up. All the things wanting to come out. And this sort of pressure built up and built up and built up. And it's like steam in a kettle. Coca-Cola when you shake it up and take the top off the bottle. And all the wanting came together at one point like mist going down a tunnel until it came out as a song. A song of everything that wanted to be. We are all the things that there will ever be. All the things that you could ever see. We live inside a cloud, and we're really quite a crowd, for we're all the things in all eternity.
I'm a tractor.
I'm a rabbit. I'm a tree.
We'll do that last bit again.
I'm a tractor.
I'm a rabbit. I'm a tree.
Yes, we're all the things that there will ever be. Everything that you could ever see. We live inside a cloud, and we're really quite a crowd. Getting a bit crowded in here, don't you think? It's all this infinity business that does it. No end to the universe and all that. When I was a lad, there were only 3 of us, but look at it now. Move up a bit. Give a chap some room, will you? And we're longing, oh, we're longing just to be.
I'm a turtle.
I'm a tortoise. I'm a pea.
We're all the things that one day will exist. At the moment, we are in a kind of mist. But when the time arrives for us to live our lives, we'll appear, have no fear, as we wished.
I'm a tractor.
I'm a tortoise. I'm a lift. No, I'm a tractor. No, it's me.
No, I'm a tractor. I'm a tractor.
Yes, we're all the things that there will ever be, from a flower to a carrot or a tree. We're wanting to come out, so we'll give a great big shout. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, just set us free. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, just let us be.